How to choose a compressed air dryer made easy. Brought to you by CompressedAirSuppliers.com. Hi, I'm your host Amy. When using compressed air, a byproduct created from the heat of compression is water. For every 20 degrees you raise the temperature of air, it holds twice as much water. The opposite is also true. For every 20 degrees you lower the temperature, it will hold twice as less. A typical 100 horsepower air compressor can produce up to 15 gallons of water a day. If you do not want water in your airline, you will need a dryer to remove the moisture. There are two types of dryers, desiccant and refrigerated. A refrigerated type compressed air dryer can be cycling or non-cycling. A desiccant compressed air dryer can be heated or heatless, single or dual tower, a membrane dryer, a heat of compression dryer. With all these options, it can seem overwhelming to choose the dryer that is right for your compressed air system. So how do you choose the right one? This really comes down to how dry do you need the air. In most applications, 90% of the time, refrigerated air dryers are the go-to solution. The dew point for the refrigerated dryer product range from 34 to 42 degrees Fahrenheit. A non-cycling dryer keeps a constant temperature of 34 degrees Fahrenheit. A cycling dryer fluctuates between 34 and 42 degrees Fahrenheit, consuming less energy but at the trade-off of having a fluctuating dew point. The return on investment for a cycling refrigerated dryer is 200 CFM or above. If your system is below 200 CFM, you should probably choose a non-cycling refrigerated dryer. Simply put, 90% of the time, you should choose a refrigerated dryer. If your system is below 200 CFM, go with a non-cycling model. If it is above 200 CFM, you should consider a cycling one. A good tip when choosing your dryer is to size the dryer's CFM flow to be 25% more than your compressor's CFM. For example, if you have a 100 CFM compressor, your dryer should be rated 125 CFM or bigger. Always add an extra 25% to ensure there is no moisture. If you use a marginally sized dryer, instead of sizing it 25% bigger, you will get moisture, especially on hot days. Now let's take a look at desiccant dryers. You would rarely need to consider a desiccant dryer. The majority of these type dryers are used in the semiconductor, energy generation, and food industries. The desiccant dryers have a dew point range of -10 to -100 degrees Fahrenheit. This dew point range is not dependent on the type of desiccant dryer, but instead, the dew point is dependent on cycle time. The sub-32 degree dew point of a desiccant air dryer comes at an energy cost for the compressed air you make. Depending on the type of desiccant dryer, it could be 3 to 25% of the total flow. A heatless desiccant dryer from any manufacturer consumes between 17 to 25% of the dryer's total rated flow. So, a 100 CFM heatless desiccant dryer constantly consumes between 17 to 25 CFM of your available 100 CFM. A heat of compression desiccant dryer would only consume 3%. So, of a 100 CFM dryer, only 3 CFM would be consumed. A heatless desiccant dryer is the least efficient of the desiccant types, while a heat of compression dryer is the most efficient. Your dew point should drive your decision on dryer selection, not your preference. 90% of the time, a refrigerated dryer is the way to go. Thanks for watching with Compressed Air Suppliers. Until next time.